Hello and welcome
to the Daft Hunks.
back again. Another episode.
Special
Folks.
episode.
Special
It's always special here on the Daft Hunks.
Yeah.
Today we're joined by a guest.
Yes.
Miles, welcome back to the podcast.
It's an honor to be back.
Yeah, second time here.
Yeah.
He previously joined us on, I believe, episode 99 to talk LCD sound systems,
Yeah.
Sound of Silver. Is that what we talked about?
Yeah. Last year.
Last year, great
And-
episode. But what are we talking about today, Tucker?
Yeah, we're talking about the 98 classic.
Yes,
A genuine
yes.
classic.
It's a classic.
It's
It's
a-
a classic. Like.
I just consistently, everyone throws this album out as,
This is
top tier all time.
It's one of the best albums of all time. We're talking Neutral Milk Hotels in the Aeroplane Over the Sea 25-year anniversary.
You've heard of it. You've heard of it.
What's each of your experiences? How did you come upon Neutral Milk Hotel?
How'd you come across Jeff's work?
Yeah, well, what was your introduction to Neutral Milk Hotel, Miles?
Well, the earliest memory I have is just bumping. I don't even remember what song. Probably Holland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
45.
banger. That's a banger.
Did you get the 7-inch single in 98? I'm kidding.
Yeah, did you go to the record store in 98 and pick that shit up?
Or are you a bandwagon fan?
No, I mean, honestly, yeah, I mean, this is one of those albums that, scrolling music forums online,
Yeah.
it's just ever present.
I honestly think, I might have first heard about it on Parks and Rec.
That's facts.
I feel like I
That's
heard
facts.
Aubrey Plaza talking about.
Yeah, this was April
Neutral
Ludgate's
Milk.
favorite band.
Yeah.
That always, is crazy to me, because I expected her to be listening to,
Weirder shit. for
weird,
sure.
I would think she was listening to, grungy something or
Well,
other.
deep down, she was just a
she
sad
was just
indie
sad.
kid.
At the end of the day, she's
Yeah.
not listening to, black metal or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. No, I think some car seat headrest kind of.
Facts.
But
Facts.
yeah, no, I unironically love this album. So I know it gets
It's
people.
tough.
Yeah, people are it's so obviously it's
Yeah.
almost cliche. It's so because it's so good. Everyone knows it.
I'm happy to have you here, Miles, because you're not Tucker and I are chronically musically online, so we're too in tune with what the internet thinks about
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
Whereas I feel like you just listen to this album freely, because when I listen to In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, I'm this is a little embarrassing because people online are so weird about this album.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you have a different perspective. You're just listening to the music.
Enlightened.
I mean, I was super into it, and I just noticed that even my friends who have listened to this song, everybody I know has had
It grasps everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
just intense feeling about it.
I think it's just when things are really good. No one can it's everyone's oh, it's overrated or something. But it's
But it's
just good.
inarguably good.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we were at your house. The reason I invited Miles on is we were post-party. We both went to a party, not at the same time, attended the same party separately.
Okay.
And then I went back to Miles' house after. And
Threw this on?
he was throwing on Neutral Milk Hotel Cuts about 2 a.m.
That's the vibe. Yeah.
And it really was, yeah. We
Yeah.
threw the Fool on. What else did you put on? Maybe Two-Headed Boy or something. We were in our vibe for sure. So
Damn. Yeah. Yeah, you want to just go in.
let's dive in.
Track 1,
The King of Carrot Flowers.
Part 1.
Part 1. Yes. It's just this is just a simple riff. There's
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah, no.
insane going on at the beginning of this track.
The chord progressions across it are very simple.
Yeah.
I mean, then he builds, they build random wild stuff around
Yeah, build
it.
around that with insane
But-
instruments.
Yeah.
And then one very notable thing across this album is just the lyrics are so strange.
Yeah.
Across
No,
the
they're incredible. They're so out there.
the first line here, when you were young, you were the king of carrot flowers. What does that mean?
To be the king.
To be the king of carrot flowers. First of all, do carrots even grow?
Yeah.
A carrot.
Do carrots have kings?
That's a great question. You think under the ground there's a carrot king?
I'm the fucking Carrot King.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he's talking about that, and then jumps right into later in the verse. And your mom would stick a fork right into Daddy's shoulder as Dad would throw the garbage all across the
Yeah,
floor,
it's wild.
into
Yeah.
these visceral imagery about a fucked up household.
Yeah.
I mean, carrots are. If you have carrots in the house, you probably have a
Notably
bad
abusive.
life.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true.
I mean, is there a type of flower called a carrot flower? Is that maybe? I don't know.
Let's see. I mean, let's see what Genius says about this. I just love. This is one of those albums that people will dig deep to draw meaning out of.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this genius description is 4 paragraphs long.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna bother with it.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We're here to give you our
No,
interpretation on what's going on here.
Yeah. To me, it's like this album is such a. It's almost like a novel or something.
It really
like
is.
it's got this beautiful image that like sounds like it's from or looks like it's from like a century ago.
Yeah.
And then like this guy's just telling a wild story that doesn't, make that much sense, but also resonates.
I did pull up the postcard that this album cover came from.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna edit our faces onto the 3 faces on
Thank
here,
you, thank you.
obviously.
Thumbnail.
Yeah, and just like send that out, maybe like a Christmas card. type
That's
nice.
a really good Christmas card.
Exactly.
Merry
just
Christmas from the
Hunks
Daft Punks.
from
Maybe
the
we
Hunks.
can recreate it. Someone.
Yeah, we could
dress.
recreate it. I'm not gonna quite do that.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. I was reading the Wikipedia and it was made by shout out Chris Bilheimer, I believe is his name.
Billheimer. Yeah,
He did a lot of REM work. and
that's how you know that Tucker's into it if he did REM work.
He put the snare drum on or whatever,
On her face. Crazy edit. It's like an and it's probably one of the
Crazy
reasons
edit.
this album is so popular is this just like album cover just it's just so cool. Like it's immediate click when you see that.
Also, shout out Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We love him. I like that you can kind of interpret the beginning of the song in 2 ways. It's like either he loves Jesus Christ, like the man, or like he loves like his lady or whatever so much.
Yeah,
He's like, I
yeah.
love you, Jesus Christ, I love you. Yes, I
I was thinking
do.
that same thing.
Because there's a period or a comma between.
There's a comma. Yeah, I feel like
Jesus
he leaves him.
Christ.
He's like, Jesus Christ, I love you so much. I never really interpreted it that way until last night when I was listening to it.
It's pretty funny. Oh, here we go.
Love that trumpet that comes in here.
No, I was reading the Wikipedia. It said horns, Ulayan pipes.
They have some
singing
crazy
saws.
instruments that are used
Yeah.
across this album,
I
and it
wonder
makes sense.
if they had those instruments like in house, or if he's like,
They probably-
I'm gonna need
I
some
think
of
they
land.
did.
I think Jeff just has a crazy setup. This is one of my favorite parts on the album. Is this second half,
Yeah.
part 3, if you will.
Yeah.
Just absolutely starts ripping it up.
Just indie banger.
It really is.
90s indie banger.
I was watching a live cut. I'm gonna have to throw some footage in. This was like 3 a.m. last night.
Yeah.
Watching 1998 footage of Neutral Milk Hotel, and this song went insane.
Yeah.
Like it looked like it was a pretty small venue, and the crowd was going bonkers to this song. Like
Just those
genuinely,
like overblown, distorted guitars.
that
like
bass is so
yeah.
good. And then you just get more of these insane lyrics.
yeah.
I will float until I learn how to swim inside my mother in a garbage bin.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I just wonder like what he's reading or like what where these are coming from.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into it more. I know a lot of the like dialogue around this album talks about the Anne Frank of it all. Like the Diary of Anne Frank was a big inspiration to his writing, but that doesn't really come until later tracks. I feel like
I think there's
and Frank's still alive at this point. in the album.
she's down in Argentina with all those with Hitler and
The whole
the whole gang and Tupac and Mac Miller and etc.
there was a sentence on the Wikipedia that just says Mangum cites Anne Frank as a huge influence. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, like many bands today will be like, yeah, like Pavement was like a really big influence to us.
Yeah.
Neutral Milk is different.
Hey,
It's drawn
shout out Anne Frank.
No.
Shout out Anne Frank.
She was a great writer. Great writer.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. You think she ever made any music?
That'd be
I
crazy.
hope so. I would love to hear the Anne Frank demo tapes for sure.
Unreleased.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
those first 2 tracks flows right into one another.
Yeah,
The
beautiful.
King of Carrot Flowers, 3 parts. That
Yeah.
just draws you into the album right there.
It's all just so out there, so unique. Like
It has such a specific sound
Yeah,
to it. Like
yeah.
there's genuinely like there's lo-fi like 90s indie
Yeah.
rock in there. There's like the horns or whatever, but really it's such a specific sound that you don't hear
Yeah.
anywhere else, I feel like.
we can go back into the title track.
Yeah, let that bang.
Truly an all-time song. This is just a beautiful song. Yeah.
Beautiful face I have found
No,
in
yeah.
this place.
Just had so many like gas pedal down drives to this.
Oh,
just
yeah.
like
this makes you
pondering
feel, it
life.
makes you feel things.
Yeah,
it's that kind of
it's an
song.
amazing song.
It makes you like feel emotions.
Yeah.
Like for the first time ever.
I heard that like I don't know. He left, like he never wrote again after this song, or not this song, but this album.
Yeah. No, the Neutral Milk Hotel never put out any more music after this, and it rarely did shows outside of the '90s. Like I don't.
I think they did all right on vinyl sales, probably. I think
he probably still makes enough money to this day off of this album.
Yeah,
that he doesn't need to work.
I bought the vinyl for this, of course.
Obviously. Do you hide that in the back of your collection?
I thought about bringing it in, but that would be too on the nose.
That'd be embarrassing.
But like the guy at the record store was like, this and the Wu-Tang Clan, like those are the #1 top-selling albums ever. At the
interesting.
store.
I thought he was gonna say those were his
like,
2 favorite albums.
No,
Like,
it's
that's
like, I was like,
eclectic
okay,
taste.
flame me, I have no taste. But like, I just found that so interesting.
Did you get the 36 chambers as well with it? Did you get the 2?
They didn't have the buy one get one normie pack.
Normie core. That's funny. That makes sense though.
But yeah, beautiful track.
It's just like, I mean, very simple lyrics on here.
Yeah.
Talking about, this is where the Anne Frank kind of gets involved. Talks about Anna's ghost all around. Hear her voice as it's rolling and ringing through me. Soft and sweet.
It's beautiful, yeah. I was reading like he's inspired by like 50s music, like 50s chord progression.
That makes sense with the
like that.
Guitar across this album really is just like simple chord progressions and then stuff stacked on top of it.
Yeah. That's beautiful stuff. Beautiful bridge. I would push my fingers through your mouth to make those muscles move. It's like just freaky. God. Yeah. I guess it's kind of like, as you said, they're part of that Elephant Six collective, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. So you had bands like, I didn't realize this until I was looking into it last night, but them, Olivia Tremor Control, and the Apples in Stereo all went to high school together.
Oh my God.
Like they just all became like big bands in the late 90s. Crazy. And then this whole album is produced by Robert Schneider, who's the guy in the Apples in Stereo.
Yeah, no, it's I think that's kind of like typical of that group of band, like even like of Montreal too, like lyrics wise, like
completely nonsensical. Like you can kind of just draw meaning from whatever you want.
It's like just either written on drugs or just like wild, like reading some wild books. I have no idea.
But then there's some just like really pretty lyrics as well. Like every time he says, "What a beautiful face I have found in this place." Like that's just a simple phrase that's like oh my God, it's just so evocative. Like, your face that I found, like
I found a beautiful face.
Like all these other faces, they're gross. Like I don't want anything to do with them. But what a beautiful place.
Yeah.
You're at the bar, you're looking around, all these people, they're so ugly, and then you see one. What a beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that as a pickup line going forward at the bar.
No, this place that's circling all around the sun, like it's just like Earth.
It's just like literally talking about Earth as a whole.
It's heavy.
He's found one beautiful face, and on the whole planet, like there was really only one to find.
And like he never says the lyric in the Aeroplane Over the Sea. Like I wonder what do you guys think that even means? You know, like, like it's such an interesting, like. I mean, why say aeroplane? Why not airplane?
Great, really good questions. Honestly, I feel like it definitely alludes to World War II to a degree.
Sure.
Aeroplanes.
I think that's how the English say it. Maybe.
That's true. Yeah. Is that how Anne Frank would have said it? I guess she would have said.
She was thinking about. Thinking about the U.S.
Yeah, coming to
in
save
an airplane.
her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I'm good at two-headed boy.
This is I feel like this is when it starts getting like darker.
Yeah.
This like the first 3 tracks, they're sad, sure, but this track has like a certain sadness to it.
Darker chords. We've all felt like a two-headed boy at some point.
Yeah, I did. One interpretation I was reading about this song is like similar to the Car Seat Headrest album, Twin Fantasy, actually, about like a relationship where you get like so conjoined together that you're basically like a two-headed boy of sorts.
Got it.
You're like so interdependent on each other.
Yeah, fair. or like two-faced, like I don't know.
Yeah, someone who is two-faced.
Yeah,
like you're a two-head. Like sometimes I get your first head, and other times I get your other head.
Yeah.
I remember really relating to the album, but like not knowing any, like the lyrics don't really resonate with me.
No,
I don't hear them at all.
That's one of the most beautiful things about this album is that it somehow is able to resonate with such a wide audience, but like most of these lyrics are so nonsensical. Yeah. But it's all about the emotion that's behind it. Like this is a universal feeling what's going on this track.
It's the way he's singing that is so.
Yeah, the live cut that I was watching last night, he gave Two-Headed Boy, Jeff Mangum gave it his all.
Wow.
Like he was absolutely belting on this track. It was a closer to the show.
Yeah.
It was very good.
Yeah. It's wild.
I just like every time that he comes back into that verse with the two-headed boy, it just keeps building and building.
No, I think as you were saying, like how he left the band or he stopped writing.
Yeah.
Like after they kind of got more attention, sort of like, and it was just, I don't know, just too hard for him. Or like he didn't, you know, he like didn't like people asking him questions about it and everything. Like
which is fair, you know.
No, it's like the purest like art is just like someone made this like no expectations.
Exactly.
And then, like,
I heard like he just went into like a suicidal rage after he read the book about Anne Frank, and it like had such an effect on him that he like. And then once he got it out, he was like, "I'm done. I'm done making music." Because like
a quote I read was he said he cried for 3 days straight or something like that.
Yeah, no,
I've never read Anne Frank's diary, but I imagine it's pretty sad, honestly. You know,
yeah, spoilers.
No. Spoilers, but
no, I mean, I can't imagine.
Another thing I do like across this album is different tracks take different like perspectives. Whereas this one, he doesn't say I whatsoever. He always refers to it as he and her, and then there's a lot of yous as well.
Yeah.
But like he's like in the parlor with a moon across her face, and through the music he sweetly displays. Like to me, that's him saying like himself through the music. He's sweetly playing for his lover, who's floating and choking with her hands across her face.
Damn.
Silver sleeves.
I do love the chorus also. And in the dark we will take off our clothes.
Yeah, that's
like,
great.
That's another just universal feeling. We all like to fuck. Like even the saddest man out there likes to fuck too.
That's what I love. On the first track, he's like, what's the line? He's like, we explore what our bodies are for.
Yeah.
Amazing line.
Lots of car seat headrest connections that we're drawing here.
Sure.
Have you listened to car seat headrest?
I've listened to a little bit of car seat headrest.
I'll put you onto some
Throw on Twin Fantasy.
Throw on Twin Fantasy and you'll be a gay furry by like the end of the album. Like it's as simple as that. That moan at the end.
Yeah.
This just gets me in my feels. Like simple as that.
No, I love the thought that like he doesn't even think of himself as a musician. He's just like, I've had so many feelings about this book. I made this thing, and then like
I just had to. Like there was no other way to get this out.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny.
So this is The Fool. You said this is your favorite track, Miles?
This is my favorite track because it goes so hard.
You just identify with it.
Yeah. It makes sense. Miles is a big Beirut guy, and so like this.
You love a trumpet.
He loves a trumpet. He loves like an Eastern rhythm. Like,
I just feel like I'm in Russia or Lithuania or something like that.
In like running through like plains or something like that.
It's epic. It's epic.
No, this is an epic track. This is almost like you're like Frodo in Lord of the Rings, like marching to the top of the mountain, like you've got the ring in hand. I love it as it's honestly a great interlude between those first four tracks into like kind of the next section of this album where you get Holland 1945 coming up is like the one of the biggest bangers on here.
No, this with like the album cover, it just looks like this could have come out in the 40s, you know, like it sounds it's pretty evergreen.
I would go to war to this
No,
song.
I mean, if this is what they were playing on the battle lines, like I would go save Anne Frank every single day of the week. Like,
damn.
In this book, World War Z, they would talk about how they would like get the zombies to come toward them. They would play like really crazy music to like hype up the soldiers. And I feel like this would be a great song.
Yeah, no, I'd be pounding chest to this. Like,
I can picture like a remix with like crazy drums going on and like people screaming over it.
I can make that happen. I'll work on it.
The full DHA remix.
Hyper pop mix.
Yeah.
DHA mix.
Oh god. Yeah, we can go into Holland.
That last horn.
Yeah. Yeah.
The blown out guitars, like you were talking about,
good.
Tucker. The way they come in, it's just so hot.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The only girl I've ever loved was born with roses in her eyes. Just like the pleading in his voice on this track.
Crazy.
Do you think like he would have actually gotten with like married Anne Frank if he had like met her?
Really, yeah. I don't think so. I think
it's more like sympathy. I guess.
Yeah, he has like
pity.
Yeah, I feel like
I think he was in love with her.
He does. I mean, he says verbatim, but I think like he's in love with the idea of her like as like a childlike figure who was allowed to mature. Yeah. It's like I've seen people describe this album as like a coming of age story, where it's like he's looking at Anne Frank as like a character, or as like a child who never got to age, and like trying to kind of seeing himself in that way.
That's a good.
It's deep.
Yeah. Huh.
And so I think perhaps if she grew up like how old she would have been, like
80,
70, 80 years old, but like maybe he would have fallen in love with her.
These lyrics are so crazy. It's like, and now she's a little boy in Spain playing pianos filled with flames.
It's just like rings around the sun.
Yeah.
Because they were saying, I was watching a thing about this, and it was saying it was all about disillusionment of your youth. And like, her youth was totally disillusioned, you know?
We had on those first tracks on the King of Carrot Flowers, it was like, I don't know if it was him talking about his childhood per se, but there was lots about like your mother getting too drunk that she can't even speak, and your father throwing trash around the room. So it is kind of like drawing into those themes of childhood, and you know,
it's like she died, but also like anyone can relate. Her
spirit lives on.
Yeah, or like anyone can relate to their childhood dying or whatever. You know, like looking
all
back.
of us had to move past that eventually. And this is the kind of album that
that's where it hits back. I mean,
it makes you feel like a child again.
Just a really sad child.
A really sad. I don't know if I was ever this depressed when I was 12. That's good to think about, at least. Thank God.
Not 12, but
13.
At 13 it hits.
This is probably my favorite track off here. This is the one I return to the most, I think, just because it's an absolute banger. But it just, like, the pace just doesn't stop for all 3 minutes of this track. Like, the guitar keeps going. He just keeps, like, belting out different lyrics about Anne Frank, about the earth continuing to spin. Like, the earth is just never stopping. Time keeps continuing. Just a lot going on this track.
Just the, like, instruments in the background too, like
those horns that are on this track.
It just adds.
And I
so
believe there's when I was watching the live video yesterday, there was full accordion going on this track as well.
Literally, I know there's a singing saw, which I didn't even know existed, but that's.
I don't know what that exactly means. Did you?
You gotta look it up.
Let's see what a singing saw is.
People play it on the street, but
let's see, singing saw. Musical saw.
Oh.
It's like a metal, like, piece of metal.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy that he, like, had that sound in his head. It's like, throw in the saw.
We need the singing saw. Facts.
Just, like, brought it with him to the studio, like,
like, with the homies, like, whip out the singing saw. We've all been there.
It's funny. It's interesting. I know there's, like, a electronic instrument called like a saw, like a huge like synth.
Okay.
But this is a different kind of saw that's being used here. Communist Daughter.
Let's go to Communist Daughter. I feel like this might be the most forgettable track for me still.
It's a great track, honestly.
So good.
Slept on track, I think.
Genius description on here. The song ponders human sexuality and the moral boundaries that society has set on our reproductive organs, with the struggle between fascism and communism in the early 1900s as a metaphor for this.
Yeah. A band from St. Paul took their
name from this.
Cool.
I've never heard of the band Communist Daughter, but I'll dive in after the episode. Like, come on now.
This is the one I most picture April listening to. Just like
facts.
April,
this fits her the most.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I think she's a On Avery Island girl. She's listening to the Big 96 cuts.
Yeah.
She's banging like Snow Song Part 1 is what she's really listening to.
No, this has one of the most classic lines on the album, though.
Semen stains the mountaintops.
Yeah.
That's Semen stains the mountain.
I heard like people are talking about plastic on top of the mountains. Like I'm talking about semen.
Yeah.
There's too much semen on our mountaintops.
About it? Yeah. People are going to Everest every single year,
and there's
just nothing everywhere.
But I think it has multiple meanings too. You know, like I don't want to get into it, but like if you picture like semen on a sort of mountaintop that's not necessarily nature, but like
are you talking about titties?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow. Never thought about that.
Shit. Honestly, no. I've always thought of it as like, I mean, obviously he's talking about semen. I'm thinking of like snow on the top of a mountain.
No, it's fair.
Like it looks like not.
It could be that too. It could be that too.
I mean, the whole song is about sex though, so I think he means the literal semen.
Classic. Love these dissonant
ambience here, yeah. That's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet communist, the communist daughter,
I love that
standing
track.
on the seaweed water.
Oh,
this
comely.
is
totally the longest song.
Yeah, this is like the central track, I feel like, on this album. You got the 8-minute long Oh Comely. This thing, I guess maybe it's coming right off of like Oh Comely is like when the semen goes onto the mountaintops. Like Oh Comely. Like fuck.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Just another like absolutely sad vibe as well. Though.
Yeah. Oh, just like jangly, like beautiful guitars. Like it's just so clear. And then his voice, like that's it.
It's like raspy on this track. Yeah, like that line. The terrible scene that was doing her thing on your chest.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to the chest.
Back to the chest.
Back to the mountains. Yeah.
Yeah. I also like in your memory, you're drunk on your odd to me. It doesn't mean anything at all. In your memory.
I love the description of this. A very sexualized song.
Yeah, here's Genius has a long description about here, but I'll read a little bit.
Yeah.
A very sexualized song tells the story of someone's adulterous father. In the story, Mangum juxtaposes vulgarity with the presupposed idea of feminine beauty and purity in an attempt to make sense of the father's infidelity with what at least the young person perceives to be a prostitute or something similar.
Okay.
By the end, the overarching theme of Anne Frank comes back into play, where Mangum evokes the idea of the purity of Anne Frank.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I wonder if he thought this much about his lyrics, or if he just like said it and then is like reading this is like, wow.
No, I
like
think
that's
These Genius descriptions are always like so
for any album that's like so many people have listened to like this, especially like big indie albums where people are really like trying to digest them and figure out every single thing. Guaranteed he didn't put this much thought into them that these people are. Like I feel like he's just writing what he feels like.
Yeah.
And I mean, oftentimes, like, it's hard when you're writing something. I don't think you're, like, going into it, like, what themes am I trying to... Especially when you're writing a song. You're not...
If it's something
like,
good, then no, I think. Like,
I think...
I don't know.
I mean, obviously, sometimes you'll go in with, like an idea for a story on a song.
Yeah, or, like, has a meaning to you, but, like, people make their own meaning, I don't know.
It's the beauty of subjectiveness in art. Ever heard of it?
Yeah.
sometimes mountains are mountains, and sometimes
they're ditties.
Yeah.
To each their own.
To each their own, really.
Nature is beautiful, and so are titties, all good.
Retweet.
That's a good tweet.
That's actually the Daft Punk's tagline.
I took a screenshot of the Daft Punk's YouTube channel commented on something.
I'd be going around commenting.
No, you replied to someone, and your comment just said, "Bitches are fire." I thought about using that as a tagline.
Okay.
Yeah, deep cut.
I love that. We can't have like a serious conversation over like we got Oh Comely, like we gotta talk about bitches.
They had us at cum.
We heard cum and we were taken out of it. This is, to be honest, this is one of those tracks where like you need to catch me in a very, very specific vibe if I'm gonna throw this on.
Yeah, I'll skip it most times just because I'm not trying to feel sad.
Like,
you know?
I like.
No, it's probably my least listened to, honestly.
Yeah, but it's like
it's
definitely
great.
one of the best tracks on here.
Yeah.
Like this is a very complete, long track.
Yeah.
But like when I'm listening to Neutral Milk Hotel casually, it's Holland. It's in the aeroplane.
Yeah.
It's I Love You, Jesus Christ. Even.
I like how he just he builds up the guitar, but at the end he's just like hitting it as hard as he can.
No, this track has like a really just like nice slow build.
We can cut ahead. We'll cut ahead a little. We go. Yeah, he fully strips back. But no, again, where are the pipes? You know, where's the singing song?
Horns. Yeah.
I need a little more.
No, I mean, there's some crazy lyrics on here though that I've never fully dove into. Verse 3: Your father made fetuses with flesh-licking ladies, while you and your mother were asleep in the trailer park.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, his writing is so beautiful. Like,
it kind of. I mean, there's a bunch of lyrics on here that I have never even fully heard before, and he returns to like the same thing that he said on the title track. And he says, and pluck all your silly strings and bend all your notes for me, which is like the same phrase that he said to that girl on the airplane over the sea.
Yeah.
We've also, smelling of semen all under the garden is another lyric on here. Returning to that idea as well.
Yeah. You can go into Ghost.
Speaking of. I love this song too. This is another one I'll just throw on.
This one bumps.
It bumps when those bass lines come in. They're just crunchy as hell.
That's your favorite type of Neutral Milk track, like
honestly, that's why
the Avery Island stuff.
That's why I like the Avery Island stuff, and Everything Is. That EP is really good too.
I like just 100% of the sound to be bass.
I like it as crunchy as possible. I want it like a fucking Taco Bell, like gordita crunch, bro. That's how I like the bass.
I like my Neutral Milk like I like my Taco Bell.
Yeah. Send crunchy. Tweet. Like that's just crafted right there.
Yeah.
This line is a classic coming up right now.
Yeah.
She was born in a bottle rocket, 1929.
Yeah. It's bouncy.
All drenched in milk and holy water pouring from the sky.
Yeah.
You know, obviously.
Yeah, it came off of the mountains.
Yeah, milk on the mountaintops. Exactly.
I think that's like straight up. I think this is also about Anne Frank.
Oh, no, this one's 100% is.
Like, kind of nothing's about her, but then it is kind of.
Yeah, I think this track is like the one that is most about Anne Frank. I love the line, I know that she will live forever, she won't ever die. Like, that's kind of the central, everything that revolves around Anne Frank on this album, like, that's kind of the line to connect it back to.
He's like bringing her back to life. Or
like, her spirit lives on in literally all of us as we go mature through life. And she had it so much harder than every single one of us ever will have it.
Yeah.
Anne Frank.
Yeah. And then this chorus is kind of just like surreal almost. Like I don't fully understand what it means, but it's a chorus that I'll absolutely scream out loud when I'm listening to this song. She goes and now she knows she'll never be afraid to watch the morning paper blow into a hole where no one can escape. Like I don't even know how to interpret that. I can't even begin to. Like where is the morning paper going into? I don't know.
And now she knows she knows. It's kind of a tongue twister.
It's kind of a tongue twister. But it's just something that like.
No, that's how I feel. Like I probably know every word to like the title track, but like no idea what they mean.
Oh,
you know, like I can sing along.
I do. There is just kind of, like I said before, like universal emotions that are present on like this chorus. It's like she'll never be afraid, and where no one can escape. Like those two lines, you can like pick those out. And I'm like that. I feel that. Like I feel like I can't escape. I feel like I'm afraid. Like
when we start singing like a D, like that, you know, you kind of get on board with that.
That I can't behind.
a banger.
No one can escape.
No, it's like I just feel like this guy was so down bad after reading that book. Like he's just like throwing her into everything.
Yeah.
Like he was probably at like a restaurant or something and he's just like Anne Frank can't
talking
be
with
here.
the homies, right?
Like Anne Frank never got to have.
He's like chatting up a girl at the bar.
Like, sorry, I'm not over Anne Frank.
I'm not over my ex.
No, I can picture it, but
He's like just crying at a restaurant, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what's wrong?" He's like, "I just found out about Anne Frank."
yeah, like
Yeah, they think he was like stood up on a date or something.
Yeah.
It's like, no, just thinking about Anne.
she would have loved this burger. Yeah, just like
Fucking hell.
I'm glad he got it out though.
Yeah. That whole aspect of the album is funny to joke about, though. I do love
Yeah.
that that's like that is part of this. Like, it's so funny to imagine him just really thinking about Anne Frank.
Yeah,
But to
I
him,
get it.
like,
I don't.
Jeff, like, he genuinely felt that way after
I
reading
mean,
the book.
I don't
So
think I could get through that book. I don't. Yeah,
it's
I mean,
just way too real for me.
Yeah,
I
it's
try to
like-
avoid anything that's
No,
like
exactly,
genuine.
yeah.
So these tracks are like just sad and surreal enough that I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I can do this.
There's
like,
enough
these aren't
weird things.
There's enough
Yeah.
weirdness, enough semen stained mountaintops.
Exactly.
Like Anne Frank's not mentioning any of that in her
Yeah.
diary. She's just talking about how she's like.
you can't dance to those diaries. You know, like there's no.
You could try though. He should have just.
Yeah, he should have just like
He should
done
have
sick
just read
beats
them.
over
Yeah,
'em.
added some beats on there. Singing
it
song
would-
as you like read the diary. That could go.
I don't think he would have sold as many vinyls.
That's
Yeah,
fair. That's fair.
yeah. I can go to Untitled.
Untitled. This is another one of my favorites, honestly.
Yeah, this song is great. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of like some like late 60s stuff. We talk about the band Love a lot on here. Like I feel like I get some of those vibes, but they just do like the
Bagpipes.
crunchiest version of
Yeah.
that.
It's sort of this album was recorded at a studio called Pet Sound
I
Studio.
saw that. Yes, yes.
And this kind of reminds me of like a Pet Sounds cut a little bit, like
Yeah,
a wild.
you could throw this on that
Yeah.
on the Beach Boys album.
Maybe not this heavy.
This
like
is
distorted.
some of the drugged out Beach Boys cuts.
Yeah.
I wonder if this has just been played by some guy who knows how to play the bagpipes. Like
Yeah.
he's just been hitting the
there's-
beer super hard.
No,
he just goes outside.
100%.
Yo, play Untitled.
If I ever learned how to play the bagpipes, like track 1 that I'm learning is Untitled. Bracket Untitled bracket, obviously.
Untitled Neutral Milk Hotel or Interpol.
That's a great.
There's probably-
that's
I mean,
tough.
there's
a
like-
bunch of
there's a
Untitled tracks out there. I'll compile a list of the best
Thank you.
tracks titled Untitled. I saw that Holland
So
1945 was originally also called Untitled, apparently,
Okay.
until they came up with that.
I'm glad they came up with that. This one's just like fun.
It's kind of
Funny.
insanity.
Yeah.
It's kind of like being at the carnival.
Yeah.
It feels good. It's carnival-y for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But like you're on some sort of substance that's
Yeah.
making you hear the carnival in fucked up ways.
There's actually no carnival. You're just hearing
You're
that.
actually
You're
in
just
your
seeing
bed.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You actually just read Anne Frank's diary in your room
Yeah.
alone.
And it's like day 2 of crying, and you know you have one more day in.
Yeah, we've all been there when you're on day 2 of crying. It's like Coachella for crying. It's like a 3-day thing, and you're only on day 2.
2 weekends.
It's 2 weekends. I'm gonna hit the next weekend, reread the book over the course of the week.
Yeah. Coachella for crying. That's like a Phoebe Bridgers album title or something.
That's solid. Yeah, I think that's like Neutral Milk Hotel in 3 words.
Coachella for crying.
for crying.
So real. Into the final track.
This thing is quick. Like this
Yeah,
is
it's
not an
under
incredibly
40,
long album. I mean,
39 minutes.
we skipped O Comely a little bit. People are not gonna like that.
Yeah,
by the
I
way. People get mad when we do stuff like that. But we
Yeah,
just
I
like
guarantee you, Neutral Milk Head, like, "Oh Comely's your favorite song."
if you're
gonna be
someone
mad.
who this is your favorite album of all time,
Yeah.
oftentimes O Comely will be your favorite song, and I fully
and
understand
you'll
why.
unsubscribe, and that's
You're gonna
fine.
we like bangers. I'm sorry. Even when we're talking about like the quintessential sad album, we're like banging our heads to Ghost. we can't
talking about sex.
talking about sex. You know, this is the Daptongues way.
The transitions are so like
It's seamless.
Yeah. It
Two-Headed
feels like
Boy
just
Part
one
Two.
40-minute song.
It really is. Yeah, if you could. Tucker famously was shoveling to the Lil Yachty album last episode we did famously and didn't know what any of the tracks were because he would just let it all bang.
No,
you could do that with this album for sure.
No, this album's a movie. Honestly, like it's it's cinematic. Like, yeah, it's a full.
And this is a great track to end it on.
Yeah. No, like, jokes aside, this is like a really important album to me. Like it's deep.
Yeah,
deeply,
100%.
No, like tied to my adolescence, and like, yeah, like it's. But it's beautiful that like it has that reaction, and also like. I don't know. There's bangers too.
It can hit in multiple different ways.
That's why it's good. Yeah.
You could play some of these songs around the host. Like that's the crazy. Like you could just throw these in the mix casually, and then other songs like those, like a song like this. This is meant to be listened to alone.
Yeah.
This is for you when you're in your feels.
I feel like I've heard Holland at like a restaurant before. Like
I really think, and I think that's fine. Like casual Holland 1945 at like. In and out.
That's how you know you have a good album,
Yeah.
It really is. Like, it makes sense that this is such a successful album because there is different tracks for whatever kind of listening you're into.
Yeah.
You can pick out the tracks that you like. That's my favorite line on the this track right here is that one. And in my dreams, you're alive and you're crying.
Yeah.
In real life, you're gone, but in my dreams, you're alive.
Yeah.
And not only
And
are you
you're
alive,
crying.
you're sad there too.
You're in the studio crying to this album.
Crying, playing the singing song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Singing is wild.
And he may be talking about Anne again on this one. He talks about
Could be
the
anyone,
rings
yeah.
of flowers round your eyes, and I'll love you for the rest of your life. But it also could be anyone, someone he loves in real life.
Yeah.
Could be the character, the idea of Anne Frank. Could be Anne Frank herself.
Yeah.
And her.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. And they're this has like credits music. Like it's just like
It's a great outro.
it's like conclusion. Yeah.
Fully just acoustic.
Yeah.
Jeff just pleading once again.
No, it's wild.
And he returns to, like, he's singing about Jesus Christ on the second track, and then the bridge on this one comes back to talking about God.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of bookended with like low-key religious themes, but like the rest of the album doesn't draw on that.
Yeah. No, beautiful album.
Yeah.
And like, do you say there's a documentary about them, or it's about their collective?
So let me look up. So I'm sure people who are like clicking on this have seen that like not new music has come out from Neutral Milk Hotel, but like they've re-released old music that wasn't on streaming.
Yeah.
And that's all because of this Elephant Six documentary that's coming out soon. I know it's already had like it was like streaming at like Sundance and stuff like that, but it's not out yet. Believe it or not, actually, Tucker, it is playing at Noise Pop in San Francisco in 2 weeks. I would literally go just for that.
That like visual on the cover looks really crazy.
Yeah, it's also same day we could hit it in Missoula, Montana as well.
wow.
So, but yeah, it's only had 3 screenings so far, so it's not like
we're doing a meet and greet at the Missoula Elephant Six showing. Come through.
Oh boy. I kind of want to watch this this little thing when we're done here. It's a 1.5-minute trailer. We'll throw that on after we're done listening to Two-Headed Boy. Yeah, I'm excited for this documentary that's coming. Talks about all those bands we mentioned before.
Yeah.
Of Montreal, Olivia Tremor.
Yeah.
And of course.
Interesting. I know they've done shows like within the last decade at least. I mean,
Neutral Milk Hotel has.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. When was the most recent Neutral? When was the most Neutral Milk? I feel like most recent show. They definitely returned at some point recently, but it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure though.
But
okay, they did something in 2019. It looks like.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
I was at that.
Honestly, like I'm sure. Yeah, Jeff and the gang. I mean, it's not just him writing this album as well. Like the other band members are helping and stuff.
100%.
I believe. I don't know if you can get their names, but
yeah, I got you.
It's kind of I'm sure they're doing well. Like,
yeah, I know. It's kind of Julian Coaster plays all of the weird instruments across this thing.
Oh, wow.
He's on the singing saw. He's credited on that. If I go to a track with some drums, let's see who's on some drums on here. Fucking.
Do you think he was like a really good singing saw player, or is like just learning the singing saw?
No, I'm pretty sure like that guy Julian plays all kinds of instruments across this album. Hey, you had Robert Schneider, like I said, he was on bass here.
Yeah.
Bagpipes player, her name was Michelle Anderson. Shout out.
Yeah.
You know. Drums, got a guy named Jeremy Barnes.
Yeah.
Lots of people credited across here.
Yeah.
Shout out to all those people.
Yeah. But no, like kind of a dream like trajectory. Like if you can just like coast off of vinyl sales, do a show every once in a while.
No, straight up, just make such
an amazing
a good album
yeah.
that you can live off it for the next 25 years.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
But yeah, beautiful album.
Here, you want to watch this trailer real quick? Get the people hyped. This one's sponsored by the Elephant 6 documentary.
Happy fuck about that.
Okay.
So this was like in Athens and like right? Athens, yeah.
More than just bands, putting out records. It was like a movement.
We all sort of fell in love with making music together.
Seems fun.
For each other.
Yeah. Looks like a movie about some bands for sure.
No, it is a scene. They did some impressive stuff. Yeah. REM's also from Athens. So.
Oh yeah. There you go.
It swings above its weight.
No, honestly. Yeah, the second that's available on streaming, I'm hitting that that video for sure, the documentary.
Yeah. No, well, any final thoughts on the album?
Yeah. I don't even know. It's just such a classic.
It's a classic.
It's a classic.
It's
like
classic.
the AI loves to make fun of us for saying that, but in this case, like
true.
there's really only one thing that you can say about this album, that it's a classic.
Yeah.
But no, we talked a lot here about the album, some not about the album. That's what this podcast is. But it's an incredible album.
No, thank you for listening. Thanks to Miles for joining.
Thank you for coming on.
Brought
Miles.
some good
Yes.
takes. We even going on Everything Is.
Dude, I love this
They
song
just re-released
so
it.
much.
I know you do.
This is like one of my,
Yeah.
because this song is just like as crunchy as they come. Like this is.
No, just let's cut to this this voice memo. This is an all time.
Oh yeah.
Who are you?
A member of KISS or punk rocker.
Oh, cool.
Every year?
Just kind of funny. Yeah, I would dress up as a punk rocker. But when I was little,
So what'd you do when you became a punk rocker?
I wore a trash bag.
I think we've done that before on the show.
100%. We've had her on before.
Yeah.
Second appearance on the podcast.
But In the Airplane is a classic. Everything is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on the album before we let you go, Miles?
What'd we miss?
No, I just like it,
Yeah.
and that's why I wanted to come on.
That's it's a beautiful opinion to
Fair
have.
enough. Next time like it's 2 a.m. after a party, throw on The Fool or like.
That's so funny. I can't.
Yeah, whatever.
Throw on next time. Actually, do "O Comely."
Yeah, just see what happens.
See where it takes you. You know.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm leaving the party, Everything Is goes on. Like, come on now.
I know.
Beautiful here.
Yeah, well, good night and keep hunking.
Yes, love you
Thanks,
guys
much love.
very much.
Thanks to Lifeguard Miles for joining.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Tucker, we weren't gonna mention that.
Much love. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Yeah.